got several things to go over here, Mayor. We met on April the 9th. We had a real good meeting. We're coming up with a scheduling requirements for the amphitheater and the picnic shelter. Sherry Joseph's been working real hard on the budget, and we've been working on the events in the park that we're coming up with. One that's coming up pretty soon is the first annual, the Summerfield Parks and Rec's going to host the first annual fishing event for the children. We're going to have 60 children participating. Went out through the community, the members of the Parks and Rec committee did. We got 25 sponsors for this event, and we also have 25 adults that are going to help with this event. And it's going to be on June 13th here in Summerfield Community Park on Schoolhouse Lake. And there'll be 60 children chosen by lottery. Walmart has graciously donated 60 rod and reel combinations that the children get to keep. The event is free, and there will be event t-shirts for the children that are participating, as well as the sponsors. And we have several members of the committee also donated towards this program. And it's other than the printing costs, I think we're going to cover that as well. It's going to be a fully privately funded event in the park, which I think is really nice. And especially when you consider the economic climate, the reception that we've received from the businesses here in Summerfield as well as in Greensboro has been really positive. So it's an exciting thing for us here. So, thank you.
Thank you. So for Youth Council. Comprehensive plan.
The comprehensive plan is just rolling right along.
Okay.
Doing a lot of good work. There's a lot of good input and a wonderful group of people who work well together. A great consultant, and we're looking forward to the next open house, which is to be announced.
Okay, Athletic Advisory Committee.
The Athletic Advisory Committee is, at this point, actually we've released bids starting today for the site prep work for the athletic fields. The bid opening on that will be May 6th at 2 p.m. Actually, cutoff is 2 p.m. on May 6th. 2:15 is when they'll be open. The information was in the News and Record this past weekend. It will be in next weekend's paper, and it will also be going up on our website the next day. We encourage any local folks that are interested in construction to look at the contract and determine whether or not you fit the bill and submit bids. In addition, we'll talk a little bit later on about the architect that's necessary for the construction of the building in the park. Start that next time.
Okay, thank you, Ron.
Nothing further to say.
I missed it. Public safety.
Yeah, we did meet last month. The issue was budget items. We have finalized, submitted, and our next meeting is tomorrow night. All our meetings are at Summerfield Fire Department, Summerfield Road Station 9, up road here.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to thank all the committees for their budget work, submitting them. It's very helpful to have a long time, and in the shape that they're in, they look really good. Appreciate you doing that for me. And we'll get back in touch with you if we have any specific questions to talk about. Thank you.
Okay, business fund manager discussion regarding school board use of community center property.
We use this just as a tool to point things at. It's the old master plan for the park, but it helps lay out things. ago, the town of Summerfield was approached by an engineer from P3 Associates that was contracted with the school board to look for additional sites within our property of the community center or the Guilford County property that we're leasing for a well to serve the Summerfield Elementary School. The Summerfield Elementary School is in the process of going through their bond package and they're redesigning the school fairly significantly. And as part of that, they're forced to look for an additional well location. And they're faced with issues of the age of their existing well and the fact that where it's located, which if you're familiar with the school property, it's essentially right where the water tower is in that area. And they want to rework that area. And right now, they're grandfathered on having the standard setbacks necessary for new community water systems, and that they have to be 100 feet from any impervious surface areas that are roads and buildings and things of that nature. The engineers came and looked at our site. They looked all over their own site first and determined that because it required setbacks from septic fields, which are 200 feet, there's no place on the school property, all the way down, including the ball field areas, including across the northern side of their property because of the nitrification field that they built up in this area, that they can't find a site for this well on their property. So they approached the town about it and wanted to look at the community center property and the county property. And since we were the leaseholders, they determined that we were the ones to go talk to about it. What they did during that is go across the park area, looking for areas that met their requirements for setbacks. They also had setback issues from agricultural lands and things of that nature. And basically came up with two sites. The first is where our existing well is on our upper track where the amphitheater area is. Basically, we put in a well up in this area to serve the restaurant facility there and also some minor irrigation, for watering flowers, things of that nature. There's already a well there. We know there's water there. The second area that they identified, and the one that most concerned, is in the grove of oak trees, just approximately 100 feet from the picnic shelter. And when we discussed the fact that that site had already been identified as a memorial for the VFW, that they indicated that that would not be possible if they used that site because of the impervious surface that they'd be putting in. This was a determination from the State Office of Environment and Natural Resources, the water section. At that point, we had not studied the actual deed of the community center, but they were invoking it, is basically what they were doing. And in that 1955 deed, that transferred the property from the school board to the community center incorporated, Summerfield Community Center Incorporated. That deed discusses the use of this property, the property that we're on right now, as being currently used at that time. It was currently being used as a septic system, although it was a direct pipe straight into the pond that was eventually abandoned. But also that they had the right to come back in and reuse the property if they felt it necessary, with a caveat built into the deed. And the caveat in the deed basically reads, and there's only apparently one copy online, and it's pretty rough to read, but I'll read the whole paragraph. At the present time, there are upon the above described property certain pipes and other fixtures hereafter referred to as sewage facilities, which said sewage facilities are appertinent to the public school property of the Board of Education in Guilford County at and or near Summerfield and are used by the teachers and pupils of said school. It will be necessary in the future to maintain, keep in proper repair, and perhaps replace said sewage facilities. It also may be necessary to add some additional sewage facilities and an easement and right-of-way for the